Hello everyone. Welcome to another conversation with Shishi. I just want to get on here right quick and really just talk to you guys about what I got to view today when I was in clinic with my mentor. And I'm just really blessed and thankful that my mentor trusts me and that, she allows me to really be hands-on with patients with her. So I'm thankful on my medical school application I can, I already have a lot of clinical experience, but she really makes sure I have clinical experience. So anyway, with that being said, today we really got to talk to quite a few soldiers who are dealing with PTSD. And a lot of them are getting ready to get out of the military. A lot of them have already experienced a lot of TBI, and it's due to them being in combat. And so a lot of times when I listen to soldiers talk, I really pay attention to the words they say. So today, quite a few of them kept talking about how when, the doctor was asked, well, how are you guys doing? Because, they always have to do that behavioral health screening when they first come into clinic. And literally every soldier kept saying, I'm okay, I'm good, this and that. And they kept, we give them scenarios and they'd still say they were good. And so my mentor, since she knows that I work with behavioral health, I counsel and stuff, she let me ask questions. And I have to honestly tell you, it was so surprising to me how many of the soldiers kept saying, I'm okay, I'm good. And it bothered me so much because if your back hurts, you're not okay. You got feet issues, your foot hurts, you sprain your ankle, you're not okay. If you've hurt your leg, you're not okay. But for some reason, when it comes to us dealing with our mental health, we always want to sit around and say, we're okay. So I start asking, me, I could break stuff down and I'll make people think outside the box that they would have never thought of. So I had soldiers doing that, but literally I kept watching them I'm here today, I'll make it, and which is fine. Hear me when I say that's fine. But they had this whole conception of, I cannot not be fine. So, when I came home, I was talking to my husband about it, how it just really concerned me that when we start talking about the mind, the brain, we don't ever want to come across as if we're weak, as if that we're not okay. So today, I just really told the soldiers, I was like, it's okay not to be okay. You've been in combat. I know you're not okay. And the reason I know because I know how many times my husband's been in combat. There's times he's not okay. But we do not want to ever say that we're not okay. And for some reason, mental health has this stigma that you can't not be okay, that mental health, having issues like that is just not okay. But you talk about your back hurt, they'll talk about that all day long and don't mind talking about their back hurt, So anyway, I wanted to just bring light to this. So if people do not know what PTSD is, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. And it's sometimes known as shell shock or combat stress. So, and it normally occurs after a trauma or a life-threatening event. So if you've been in any trauma, I've been in trauma as a kid. So I got diagnosed years and years ago with it, post-traumatic stress disorder. Mine is just not as severe as some of the soldiers that I see and what I live with. So I want to get on here and say, and I know I say this all the time, if you're dealing with any type of mental health issue and you're not okay, it's fine not to be okay. You don't have to live depressed. You don't have to live discouraged. You don't have to live a life that's out of the norm. Just so you don't want to get help and you're scared of what people are going to say. Get your help. You need to be able to function in day-to-day society life. So, I wanted to also get on here and tell you about the statistics of it. And I had it written down, but now I don't see it. Okay, here it is. So about out of 20 out of every 100 veteran have served in any type of combat, all have some type of mental, not besides mental health, they have some type of PTSD. And about 12 out of 100 soldiers will have PTSD in a given year. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought these stats were pretty low considering what I've seen. And then it said about out of 15 out of 100 Vietnam vets are currently diagnosed with PTSD. So I know that I have no statistics research on this, and I'm pretty sure if I went deeper, dig deeper, that there would be even more. But a lot of times, you know, we don't think about what the holidays do to anybody who's dealing with any type of depression or issues. But I noticed today that when I was talking to the soldiers, they were talking about how bad their anxiety is. But a lot of the doctors won't put them on anti-anxiety medication. Now, I know a lot of them will be on a Prozac, but a lot of times Prozac's good. It helps with the depression, but it does not help with the anxiety part that comes with your depression or that comes with the PTSD. And I know for a fact, I could tell. And I watched the soldiers, like one of them just kept shaking and moving, and I can tell when they start getting agitated. Now, I know that's an occupational a health thing that I know, I see it all the time, but it bothered me. And it bothered me when they said, well, the doctors really won't prescribe that to us no more. So you're telling me you got soldiers that have, you know, deployed numerous times, got PTSDs diagnosed, and you're telling me you don't give them nothing to help them cope with their anxiety? No, I don't go with that. So I want to tell you guys, these are a lot of the reasons why I'm going into medicine. As a counselor, I want complete autonomy when it comes to dealing with my patients. I don't want to get somewhere and I have a patient like I had today and they tell me, well, my doctor won't prescribe that for me. So I know a lot of times that they'll take I'm trying to find, they'll take something like mirtazapine, and that's good for bedtime and your mood. Sometimes you'll see them on fluoxetine, and that's for your mood as well. But then also too, I think it's called Divaproex. It is for your irritability and anger. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the patient we had in there today, their agitation and their anger, I could just tell it was about to just, and I'm not trying to say that we were doing anything to aggravate, but it's like you couldn't question or talk to them so much. So it was either they were mad before they came in, or, you know, maybe they're not being compliant on meds. You know, I don't know if they're seeing a behavioral health specialist that can talk to them about treating the PTSD and stuff. So I'm not sure, but we did go over and they'll say like, I'm seeing someone, but they're not helping me. And this is another red flag that I did not like when I heard, is that they have a hard time finding counselors who know how to treat trauma. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is one thing I do know for a fact. Everybody can't treat trauma. Everybody can't treat PTSD patients. And every time when I'm talking to some of them, I say all the time, make sure you find someone who knows how to treat trauma and PTSD. People who are like in crisis. There are counselors out there that are like that. So when I get someone and they telling me that, it doesn't shock me. Because literally today, I spoke to at least 5 of the patients, and they talked about how their counselor just really, really sucked. And so then, you know me, suck how? What's your definition of suck? Like, what do you mean? Like, they don't do this? Like, explain to me, what do you mean when you say your counselor sucks? And quite a few of them say, you know how you've talked to me? I've not ever heard that. So those were serious red flags to me. So I'm gonna tell everyone out there, if you're with a counselor that you and them don't see eye to eye, and I'm not trying to say that they'll always do or be the way that you want them to be, but if treatment is not going to the way you like and you don't like your counselor, find somebody else. You're not stuck with them forever. You know, you didn't get married to them. Go find somebody else. Because a lot of times I'm seeing these particular patients were not even going back to counseling now. So now they're really not compliant. You can take meds all day, but you also need to hit the root surface of what is wrong with you. Yeah, you went to combat. Let's deal with the combat issues. Let's talk about what you've seen. Maybe it's going to be too much to talk about. So maybe we need to up the meds. Maybe, you know, might need to do some in-house treatment. And I mean, maybe hospitalized treatment when we start talking about, so you don't go home to family, you don't go home and, you know, maybe start doing alcohol use, drug abuse use. You don't want any of that. So there's so many different ways that this can be taken care of. And it bothers me when I hear people say, I'm not getting the right treatment. So I know for a fact that I think clonidine is good for, especially for patients who deal with agitation. And I'm gonna tell you right now, anxiety, I am blessed that God gives me a strong discernment. I can tell when patients are about to set it off. I can tell when patients are aggravated. I can tell when their mood starts changing. I'm quick. I'm on it. I can tell. But I know that God has given me a strong discernment. And not to mention, I do it all the time. This is my job. So I really want to express to everyone, if you're with counselors that they're not giving you think the best treatment or care, go to someone else. If you have a doctor like that, go to someone else. I mentioned this a while ago. Even for me, I had to get a new doctor because I felt like she couldn't give me the care I deserved. So let me see, I'm trying to think of something else. So we also too have to make sure that you don't have veterans or soldiers out there that want to commit suicide due to the type of trauma they've had to experience. So that's one thing that you don't want to deal with. But also too, I saw this article and it talked about how families, wives of soldiers who cope with their PTSD too. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I actually did a research paper on that years ago, and it was and it talked about how the families develop a form of PTSD, depression, dealing with the anxiety of the soldier walking on tiptoes around their loved one who has PTSD. So that was really interesting to me too. So anyway, I just want to get on here and say that I pray that you guys are getting the treatment that you deserve. It bothers me because I think about how much our soldiers go through. I know for a fact my dad was a soldier and my husband was a soldier, and I am all about our armed forces, whether you're Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. I want you guys to have the best life, regardless that you have to go out and fight for us, fight for our country, and fight for us to have freedom. I think you guys deserve the best of everything. And I don't want to say that because I lived it my whole life, but I am going to say that because I'm biased. And I think you guys deserve everything. And that was just my little take on dealing with PTSD today. It was just really shocking and alarming how many of these young, and I'm not talking about 25, they were younger than 25, that were dealing with PTSD, and they had valid reasons to have it, going to combat and dealing with traumatic exposure to stuff. But anyway, if you guys have any more questions, need to talk, you can give me a ring. You can go on my blog, which is Kaleidoscope by Shishi. And under the home tab, if you click on it, it brings up a questionnaire for you to sign up to contact me if you want counseling, life coaching, or mentoring. I'm definitely available. And if you just need to talk, my number is 940-247-0619. Now, I want to tell you guys, I get phone calls a lot and people do not leave me a voicemail. Leave me a voicemail so I'll know what you're inquiring and need, because sometimes people play on the phone. So if you're playing, I'm not going to call back if you don't leave me a voicemail. I need a voicemail. And if you also too go on my form, I have you tell me what type of treatment. So when I talk to you on the phone, I'm gonna send you to my blog, kaleidoscopebyShishi.com, to actually fill out the form so I know what you need. So anyway, I just want to get on here and say that I hope everyone's had a great day. I know I have. I'm looking forward to my dinner tonight. It is cold in Texas today, and it even rained this morning. So that's a blessing in disguise. Like, if anybody's dealing with seasonal depression, if you lived in Texas, I doubt you'd have it. But for me, it's hard because I love winter and fall. So I look forward to the leaves changing. I look forward to snow and cold weather, and you really don't get it here. So I'm blessed today that we had it. So I tried to be in it as much as I could. So anyway, I hope you have a great day today. You'll be hearing from me again. This is another conversation with Shishi. And like I said, if you need help, you got Shishi Counseling, Mentoring, Life Coaching, and I'm available for you. And I will try to have another podcast out this week. And I will definitely download this on my YouTube channel, and it's Shishi Vlogs. So there's quite a few ways that you get to listen to me. I will talk with you guys soon. Bye.